players on this server. I'm feeling really hopeful about this new server because it is one of the most active and long-lasting servers in North America. This server has a lot of history in the PvP world, so I am almost 100% certain that there's going to be an insane amount of action here, and that's exactly what we're looking for so that we can keep improving and leveling up our PvP. Alright, so first things first, before we get started, let's go ahead and set up our attributes. I am going to go for a strength encumbrance build, so I will start by maxing out my encumbrance attribute, just because since we are just getting started, we are going to want the efficient harvest perk so that we can get more bang for our buck when we are farming, and we also want the Beast of Burden perk so that we can move at full speed while we are over encumbered. Next, I'll go ahead and invest 5 points in grit just to increase my stamina pool a tiny bit. Now, since I am going for a strength encumbrance build, my vitality is going to suffer a bit and I'll only be able to invest 10 points in vitality. Now for agility, I'm going to spend 15 points so that I can get that quick-footed perk, which is going to allow me to move a bit quicker and also spend less stamina doing so. And now finally, I'll go ahead and put the remaining points that we have in strength, and this will pretty much be our build just till we get to endgame. Now, I would say that this build is definitely not the best encumbrance build out there. Our vitality is pretty low and the damage that we do is barely decent, but this is just the build that I am choosing to go with out of preference, simply because I am not a fan of agility weapons. But anyways, now that we have that out of the way, let me tell you guys how I plan to speedrun my way to endgame. So the last time that I got started on a new official server, I basically farmed the golems in the Keurig dungeon to get a ton of blood crystals that I then exchanged for some obulis. And then with the obulis, I was able to buy myself all the materials and thralls that I needed to get established on the server. Now this time around, I plan to reach endgame by doing something slightly different. I want to avoid farming the golems in the Keurig dungeon because in order to be able to successfully farm that dungeon, you kind of need to do a lot of prep work if you're fresh on a server like me. Before you can do the Keurig dungeon, you gotta get yourself some decent armor and a decent weapon, and maybe even a fighter thrall if you're not comfortable doing it alone. But yeah, as you can see, the Keurig dungeon does require a lot of prep work, and most likely you're not going to be able to do it as soon as you arrive on a new server. So rather than prepping and then farming the Keurig dungeon, my plan is to farm some of the blood crystal rock noses located all around the map and exchanging those blood crystals for some obulis that I can then use to buy everything that I need to get to endgame. So it is a pretty similar strategy to farming the Keurig dungeon, except there is almost no prep work required to do this method. So if you haven't played Conan in a really long time and you're returning to a server where you have an old character, or even if you're just starting fresh from level 1 on a new server, you can just follow my lead and you should be at endgame in just a few hours. Now, if you take a look here, I got some of the locations for the blood crystal rock noses marked up with a bunny icon, and the ones that I've selected make up.
What's up, man who stands? How you doing?
When you arrive on the server,
doing okay. I'm 22.
Where you will exchange them for some obulis. So yeah, now that you know the plan, let's go ahead and get started.
Bear with me just a second.
Together and be at endgame in no time.
Sorry, I just don't want to die. It's hardcore. If I was gonna die, that's one of the places that could have happened. Sorry, I bought Conan Exiles because it's on Steam for $10. I've been watching Conan Exile PvP videos. Doing excellent, man. Who stands 22, doing pretty well on Rogue. I've unlocked a whole bunch of flight pass and stuff. I've been I've got full gear, almost full gear. I don't have total rings yet, but I got all agi gear. And oh yeah, I played. I own Conan Exiles on the PlayStation 4, but I only ever played it for about 8 hours or something like that. And I didn't know, but there was. I'm interested in taming systems in different MMOs, and I've been messing with Mortal and Final Fantasy XI for Beastmaster, and I'm looking for something else like Beastmaster, and I didn't know, but Conan Exiles has a fairly deep taming system, so Gonna go deep dive that. I don't think I'm going to be doing that today. I'm gonna be doing it tomorrow. And I'm flipping my schedule here today, so that I'll be up all day tomorrow, as opposed to I've been like going to bed at, oh god, 7 in the morning, and that's actually when I want to wake up. So I worked a double today trying to flip my schedule, and I'll be up during the days more. Tomorrow I'm gonna play some Conan, and I'm excited. Yeah, yeah. For $10, you can't go wrong. I'm sure. I know that game's good. And I didn't think about the PvP side of it, but that might be fairly fun. Might take a look at the PvP of it right now.
With the rock nose here at Skulker's End, and I ended up killing it. And
So there was the rogue quest. I'm done with this, and now I'm gonna go unlock poisons, but I don't think I have my I don't have my hearth yet. Defies Brotherhood and the Red Silk Bandits. Could kill Murlocs while I'm here, but I don't need to. But yeah, Akiba. God, that looks good. I love, like, classic sometimes is frankly beautiful. All the god rays and everything. Look at that, just beautiful. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm a hardcore addict, and I intend to take this character further. I haven't had the discipline to main WoW hardcore, but I'm doing better now. I've been maining it, taking it a little bit more seriously. Seems a lot easier if I just sort of focus on it, and I don't try to let other games, like, take all of my bandwidth, you know? And, yeah, I'm enjoying it. Can't wait for Season of Discovery. That's going to be pretty fun. I'm going to level a Horror Rogue for that, so that's going to be amazing. Yeah, Power World, huh? Power World. I've heard about Power World, but I'll have to remind myself. I'm kind of like brain dead. Let's see. Yeah. Power World gameplay. I've heard about this one, but I don't remember.
We're gonna muscle through this, but if I, sound a little off, or if I'll try not to cough.
Oh, it's a trainer game.
That, but just bear with me.
Okay.
Next couple videos are gonna be.
Maybe I haven't seen this. I don't think I've seen this.
Types, because we have something really cool tomorrow. How to catch a pal.
There are many pals inhabiting Power World. We won't be able to catch them like this. So how can we catch one?
Let's see his voice.
First, let's weaken the pal. Then throw in a spear.
Throw the spear.
Sure.
Oh, there you go.
Good job.
It looks good.
Pal World has a lot of weapons.
Yeah.
We can use a bat or our fist. A bow is probably easier.
Why does he look so much like Pokemon? It's
Of course, there are guns, but ammo isn't infinite. Assault rifles are useful in team fights. Rocket launcher is the fighting.
why is she blowing away these cute little creatures with a rocket launcher? I mean, I like it, but it's still odd.
Cleanup time. After weakening a pal, throw a spear, 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 throw even from a distance. Wait for it. Best to keep aiming, just in case. Good job.
Pengullet.
That's how we can catch pals. Have a nice pal life.
Oh wait, this is custom clothes for the character. I don't know if that was confirmed already, but yeah, you can put custom clothes on her.
Okay, yeah, looks good. I've heard about this game, but I had not seen it yet, and that looks amazing. Hells yeah.
Extras from it. So since I did forget to hit record, we're just gonna come back to this first location later in the
Okay,
video, and I'll show
so
you exactly
now
where
I
it
guess
is.
I fly out.
Anyways, in the meantime, we are going going to move on to the second rock nose, which is located right over here. So let's go ahead and look for it. And sometimes it can be a bit tricky to get these rock noses to pop up, but they're here. Just gotta look around. Nice, there it is. Let's go ahead and kill it.
Where are you going?
Crystals.
Well, if you're looking to get there quickly, then look no further.
Now, as you can see, these are pretty easy to kill. I'm just using a stone spear, and I have 10 points in strength, and I'm still doing decent damage. So even if you're low level, you should be okay. Alright, and it's down. Let's go ahead and farm it. And check it out. This one actually gave us 48 blood crystals using a stone pick, which is not too bad. So if you're following my route, our next stop is located right over here, and I'll just see you guys there. Here we have it. Let's go ahead and bring this third one down. Okay, and it's down. And look at that, another 48 blood crystals. Very nice. I think what I really like about this method or route is that you can just do it upon arriving on a new server, and you can kill these rock noses as you're making your way across the map while you attune your bracelet at all the various obelisk locations. And once you reach the current dungeon, you can just exchange the blood crystals and get a ton of resources just to get you started. Now, the fourth rock nose is going to be located right over here at the unnamed city. And here it is, perfect. Let me just show you in the map real quick. Alright, and now we'll kill it and farm it. Oh, and this one only gave us 16 blood crystals. It's not as much as we usually get, but it's still better than nothing. Anyways, in total we got 160 blood crystals from 4 rock noses, and that's enough to get us started. So our next stop is going to be the entrance to the Kuruk dungeon, where we will exchange these blood crystals for some obelisks, and then I'll show you how you can use those obelisks to double your profits. And just in case you don't know where the Kuruk dungeon is, just look for this red beam of light and head towards it, and you'll be there in no time. Alright, and here we are at the Kuruk dungeon, and now we are going to trade these blood crystals for some of these boxes that contain obelisks. Let's see, it should be one of these merchants here. Yeah, it's this one right here. Let's go ahead and buy as many as we can. Okay, and I think that's all we can afford. Let's go ahead and see how much we got. And I believe that's 10 boxes from 160 blood crystals. Not too bad. Now let's go ahead and pop these open and see how much obelisks we get. Nice, look at that. We got ourselves 87 obelisks just from killing 4 rock noses that we killed on our way here. So yeah, this method is definitely way more efficient than farming sorcerers for their skulls or having to knock them out and then turning them in. You just get way more obelisks from killing these rock noses and then exchanging the blood crystals. But anyways, now that we have some obelisks, I'm just gonna make a small stash here to store some of my loot for the time being, and then I'm gonna go buy myself a blood pick, which is gonna help us maximize our profits even further. Alrighty, and now that we have our stash put away, let's go buy ourselves that blood pick. Oh, and by the way, this is actually the location of the 5th rock nose that we are supposed to farm. But we're not gonna farm it just yet. I want to get the blood pick first.
This
then
would
we'll
explain
farm
the
it
Defiant
down.
drones you and Kernan saw outside of the tower,
Okay,
adventurer.
let's keep going.
It would
We're
also
going to
explain the
merchant
venture
at the
company's
Black
involvement
Galleon.
with the Defias
Right,
and the
here we are
strange
at the Black
shipments out of
Galleon.
Duskwood.
Here's the map
According to
location,
this
just in
book,
case you
the
don't know.
Zanzil trolls and Stranglethorn
Come to this
discovered a way to
merchant here,
raise
get
the
yourself
dead
that
through
blood
potions,
pick once you
or
have
to be
some
more specific, poison. You'll be of no use to SI-7 without a firm understanding of poisons, adventurer, especially with the recipe to create undeath at our fingertips. It appears as if you've brought back more information than even I expected. This certainly is a strange turn of events, adventurer. A cure? Go down to the cellar and speak with Doc Mixelpixel. He may be able to help.
It's about time. Just put the cheese on the table and skedaddle. Osborne will pay you on the way out. Oh my, you look like death. Correction. I've seen death. You look worse than death. You, miss, would be what Death coughed up at his last physical. Ha! You hear that, No Arm? Write that one down. Asterisk cough, asterisk. Yes, In order for me to help you, I'll need to draw some blood. Don't worry, it only hurts the first few 50 times or so. Slash, lay down when you're ready for the treatment, adventurer. Give me a moment to confer with my colleagues, adventurer. Dr. Montgomery, Mr. No-Arm, let us conference! Can I help you?
Yeah, it's very good. Sometimes it really sounds like a human.
Hey! It's unanimous, adventurer. You've got the itis. Luckily, I have a cure for the itis. Here's what I need. 1 bundle of simple wildflowers, 1 leaded vial, 1 bronze tube, and last, but certainly not least, 1 spool of light chartreuse silk thread. Old Emma left a spool of it for me at the finest thread. You can find the shop along the canals. Hurry along now, adventurer, and try not to touch anyone until you're cured. Oh, and Dr. Montgomery says you need a shower. His words, not mine.
Obulus. Nice, and there we have it. We got our blood pick, and it's super cheap too, just 15 Obulus. It's completely
Speak
worth
quietly
it.
and with
Let's go
great
ahead and
care.
make
The
our way
wrong
back
word
to
in these
that
parts
rock
could get your
nose,
throat
and you're
cut.
gonna see just how
Now,
much more
what
blood
is it you need
crystals
from
we
me?
get now with this blood pick. There we go. Now we'll use our new pick. Look at that. With this new pick, we have almost doubled the amount of blood crystals we would normally get. Now we'll head back to the merchant and trade these in and buy ourselves some supplies. By the way, always be on the lookout when you come to the Keurig dungeon because it is a very popular spot and you don't want to end up getting mugged and losing everything that you worked for. Alright, and now let's just quickly trade these in and pop these open. So in the end, after buying the blood pick and killing all 5 rock noses, we are left with 106 Obulus, which you can use to buy materials, thralls, tools, and weapons. It's pretty much up to you what you want to invest in. As for me, I'm going to use my Obulus to buy some supply materials, which I'm going to use to reach endgame. So now that we have our supply materials, I am going to go and build a starter base near the spider cave. I always like to build my starter base around this area near the spider cave just so that I have quick and easy access to farm tons of silk. And we also have the savannah nearby where we can farm some feline pelt, and these are the main materials needed to craft some decent armor. That way we can get straight to doing some PvP. This looks like a pretty good spot right next to the spider cave. Let's go ahead and get building. There we go, all done, home sweet home. Alright, so now that we have some shelter and a bit of privacy, let's go ahead and pop these supply materials.
We are the only
open and
supplier
see
of
what we
healthy
got.
flowers in all of Stormwind. We provide beautiful blooms for any occasion.
Backpack Battles demo last night. Was up to 3:30 a.m. Playing it. Let's see. Backpack Battles demo last night. Was up to 3 playing a pretty fun concept for a game. Backpack Battles. I haven't heard of it. Let us see.
This is Backpack Battles.
Oh, thank you so much, Rarin, for the excellent content for my stream. I've liked and sub to your channel.
Where you buy items and make sure they can fit into your backpack so you can find other people that are doing the exact same thing. It sounds really strange, but it's honestly amazing. This is Backpack Battles. It's a game where you buy items and make sure they can fit into your backpack so you can find other people that are doing the exact same thing. It sounds really strange, but it's honestly amazing. I personally have not played it, but I've watched other people play. So we're gonna do this. What other classes are there?
Okay.
This is probably the first character they want you to try, so let's try this one first. Okay, we'll try the other one after. Okay, we're gonna do let me do a bunch of we got
Lucky Piggy.
Am I an ape in the night? What is this guy? Fucking Harry Potter? What's this? You win these. Do better.
Oh, I like it. Yeah. Yeah, why not?
Oh, what happened? Oh, what happened? You lost the buff, did I? I don't even need it. You see how free that was?
Hells yeah, looks
What
good.
happened to my pig? Okay, it's over. The pig. What is this? Generating low quality gemstone? Oh.
Yeah, that's cool. Why
Patches
not?
After 2 rounds in your backpack? I must get it. We're hammering. Absolutely. We go here.
We're
We
hammering.
do this. We banana.
Banana.
5 more gold. I feel like it's absolutely a must to get the fucking dragon egg, right? Oh my god. Yeah, I'm gonna roll 1. Alright, this is what I needed. Read what your main bag does. Items inside gain 50% critical hit chance for each one.
Interesting. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, I
I knew
did.
that. What is this guy do?
I had no idea.
We win this? I keep missing.
I like the auto battle.
We're winning. Woo! Let's go! Okay, easy. Oh my god, okay, hold on. We need to cook really hard here. Was that good? No, that's not good! Oh, that's fine, actually, it's fine. We just wanted it for this. Wait, it's not good. I should have read that. If I sell it, it looks like an 8. Okay, I might be cringe here, but we sell this for this. Okay, and we keep this for later.
Yeah, this looks good. Hells yeah.
Next turn.
Is it on Steam? Backpack battles. Let's go see. Free demo on Steam. Ooh. What an interesting concept. Hell yeah. Yeah, I don't have the time to play the demo right now, but I will buy the game when it comes out. Seems like a pretty good solid concept.
Go with Autumn. We are the only supplier of healthy flowers in all of Stormwind. We provide beautiful blooms for any occasion.
He wants simple wildflowers. Okay. And then what else? Is there another one? Oh yeah, there is another one, but yeah, that's a really cool PvP meta. Actually, I was thinking about it. I was like, it's really refreshing to see PvP. In an auto battler. Actually, I was just thinking about that. Like, what I just saw was actually fairly revolutionary. I believed in what I saw. I was like, yeah, that looks pretty good. It seems like a really fucking good mobile game, especially. But I don't know. Maybe you would need a tablet to play it. I don't know. But yeah, that game like looks almost as fun as Hearthstone, kind of. It looks like it's got a lot of potential. I'll have to check it out when I'm not brain dead, but I've been at it for 19 hours. I'll think about the demo tomorrow, but also kind of like sucked in the WoW world too. Nothing, huh? No. You say that there should be things here. Yes, very good. Then what else? Another bronze tube from the auction house, I guess. Okay.
this, check it out. This is how much we profited from killing 5 easy monsters in our first hour of starting on this new server. Now, with these materials under our possession, we can now use these materials to reach endgame maybe in the next hour or two. So at this point in the speedrun to endgame, if you arrived on this server as a level 1 character, I would just head over to the Frozen Temple and farm some black ice until you reach level 60 using your blood pick. If you want to see a video on how to do that, I'll go ahead and link one in the description. Now, if you arrived on the server as a level 60 like I did, we are just going to
Oh
farm the
yeah,
rock nose
look at all that money.
and farm the rock noses one more time using the new pick, and then we are going to trade in the blood crystals for some obulis, and then we'll use the obulis to buy some worker thralls or whatever else we really need.
Welcome to my inn, weary traveler. What can I do for you?
And check this out, for this second run, we ended up
Oh,
getting
it's Thistle Tea.
128 blood crystals.
I forgot. I got Thistle Tea. I love Thistle Tea.
Buying this blood pick is an absolute game changer. We were gonna get so much more the first time when we were using a stone pick. Now, of course, farming the golems in the Kurik dungeon is always going to be way more profitable than farming these rock noses. But the whole point of this is to do this as soon as you arrive on your new server, just to get a nice quick start. And then once you have some proper armor and weapons from farming these rock noses, you can farm the Kurik dungeon if you need some crystals. And I know I said this already, but what's really awesome about this trail is that you can just do it as you make your way across Noob River while you're tuning your bracelet at all the obelisk locations, or you can even do this as you're initially scouting the server for bases when you arrive. Oh, and by the way, this is the location for that first rock nose that I never recorded. You can just come here to Skulker's End, and it should be in this area. Alright, and this is the last one. Now we're gonna head back to the Kurik dungeon and trade these in. Thankfully this server has a map room here, and I get to save some time. Alright, here we are. You guys already know what to do here. This time around we're gonna get so much more since we used the blood pick. Check it out, all this just from that quick little run. Yeah, let's pop
Oops.
these open, see how much obelisk
I didn't
we
buy it,
have.
I guess. Or I did.
There we have it, 236
Yeah, it just wasn't
obulis.
there.
And like I said earlier, it is completely up to you what you buy with these obulis. You can buy yourself some more materials, some worker thralls, some weapons. It just depends on your own personal needs. For me personally,
Wow.
what I care about getting is an armor thrall so that I can craft some decent armor and get started with doing some PvP right away. So we're gonna try and gamble and see if we can get that armor thrall, and hopefully we can get it first try so that we can save our obulis for the future. Alright, here we go. Can we get an armor thrall first try? Let's do it. Look at that, first try we did. Nice. Alright, so we ended up getting the only thing we needed first try. So now with the rest of the obelisk, I'm just gonna save it and stash it somewhere. That way, if I get wiped in the future, I can just use the obelisk to get another quick start. We are pretty much set now with these materials. I'm just gonna go ahead and craft my benches and get these materials processed so that I can get all my tier 3 benches in maybe an hour or two once the materials are done processing. So yeah, let's go ahead and craft some benches now. Alrighty, so our benches are officially up and running, and we should be able to upgrade them to tier 3 once our steel reinforcement and hardened brick are done crafting. Now it is going to take some time to get everything processed, so in the meantime while we wait, we are going to gather everything that we need to be able to start PvPing later on today. So the first thing that we need to be able to start PvPing is some proper armor. Unfortunately, on this old character of mine, I still don't have all of the meta armor recipes yet. So we are going to settle for what I do currently have, and it's the Void Forge Dragonhide armor. Now, ideally, I would like to mix this armor with the Light Silent Legion armor, but like I said, I don't have all of the recipes yet, so we're just gonna have to settle for the full set of Dragonhide. So to craft the dragonhide armor, we're just gonna need to gather some silk, some feline pelt, and some dragon bone. So let's go ahead and get started with that. We'll start by farming some silk, and thankfully we live right next to the spider cave, so it should be quick and easy.
Hi, how are you? Be seeing you. What am I doing? What does it look like I'm doing? I'm devising a cure for your eye tins. Don't get indignant with me now, adventurer. Just a few more seconds. There. Just spray this, fantastic smelling medicine on yourself and you'll be as good as new. Can I help you? Can I help you? Off and away.
It's been so long since I've made poisons that I don't remember the system.
Speak quietly and with great care. The wrong word in these parts could get your throat cut. Now, what is it you need from me?
Ah, yes, there we are. Instant poison, very good. Dusted decay, empty vials.
Speak quietly and with great care. The wrong word in these parts could get your throat cut. Now, what is it you need from me?
And what is it? It's dust of decay and empty vials. Cool, instant poison. 40 charges, yeah.
Alrighty, and that should be enough for some armor. Next, we'll head over to the savannah and farm for some feline pelt. And again, thankfully, we live right next to it, so it should be another quick and easy farm.
Does he have a spear? Because it seems cool. No, it's a staff, I guess. I know. It is a spear. A spear would be cool.
Head back to home base now and depot all this, and then we'll move on to the next item on the list.
Nice, got poisons
So the next
now.
item on the list, and I believe this is the final item that we need, is some dragon bone. So we're gonna make our way to the unnamed city.
Okay,
and
now
dragons there and get some.
must decide whether I'm going to do the long journey back to Ashenvale for the lower level quests or go to Redridge or Wetlands. And I think Ashenvale is the one I want to spend the time in, so I will make the trip back out there. It's kind of consuming to do that and out of my way. But that's the whole point, is to get the quests that are green further away done so I can just go about my business here.
Dragon bone. should be enough. We don't really need too much dragon bone. So let's head back to home base now and craft ourselves some brand new armor. Oh, by the way, so I was on my way back to base and I just realized that this server actually has an arena. Check this out, this place looks incredible. I love how tall this arena feels. Can't wait to try this place out later on today once we're all set for PvP. Alright, let's get out of here. Let's finish getting ready so that we can finally get to the fun part. Alright, and we're back at home base. Now we're just gonna go ahead and craft our Dragonhide armor.
Dragonhide armor.
Actually, you know what? I should have enough materials
Sounds OP
now
as
to be
fuck.
able to upgrade to the Garrison's Armors bench. That way we can save on our material costs. So I'm just gonna go ahead and upgrade our armors bench and then we'll craft our armor. Okay, our armor is good to go. Let's go ahead and try it on.
Where is it you would
Nice,
like to
and
go,
there we have
lads?
it.
For just a
Look at
few
us,
coin, my
fully
griffins can
armored
get
now
ye there
and
faster
almost
than even
ready
the
for some
swiftest
chaos.
horse.
We just need a few more things to be fully ready for some PvP. Alright, so now that we officially have some proper armor, our next task will be to get ourselves some proper weapons. And for me, my two favorite weapons are the spear and the two-handed great axe. As you might have noticed, I already went ahead and crafted myself an ancient pike using the materials that we purchased with the obulus. So that means that all I really need now is my two-handed great axe. So the plan now is to farm ourselves some star metal using these explosive arrows that I crafted earlier today. And then we'll use the star metal to craft ourselves a star metal great axe. We'll start by grabbing some black ice, which we'll need to be able to make some star metal bars. Next, we'll do a little bit of wandering around and hopefully run into some star metal ores. Really hoping that we don't spend the next hour here looking for some. We'll check down here first, see if there's anything. We found one. Looks like we're not going to be here too long after all, thankfully. Honestly, this is probably all that we need for now. Let's start heading back. If I find any other nodes on the way back to the map room, I'll farm it, but I think we're good to go. We'll make a quick stop at the Brim Lake, because we're also going to need some brimstone to be able to turn this into star metal bars.
Oh,
Don't really need too much brimstone, just enough. We'll get one more node, and that should be enough. And off we go back to home base. We'll get these processed into some star metal bars, and then we'll craft our weapon.
damn it. Failed this one really bad.
And there we have it, our star metal great axe is complete, and we are one step closer to being ready to PvP. Alrighty, so now that we have some armor and some weapons, our next task in our agenda will be to farm some of the materials needed to craft some strength buffs, and these strength buffs are going to help us increase our damage against our enemies. This is a very important step for prepping to do some PvP, because since our weapons aren't crafted by a blacksmith, that means that we are going to be at a damage disadvantage whenever we fight against a more established player that has a bladesmith or any type of blacksmith. So yeah, crafting some strength buffs is absolutely necessary to help minimize our disadvantage. So we are going to start by getting the recipe for salted pork here at the summoning place. And just for anyone that doesn't know, salted pork is just a nice food buff that gives you a 15% increase in weapon damage. You can find that recipe right up here next to this campfire. There we go, we got it. Let's get out of here. So now that we have the recipe that we need, we'll head over to the Mounds of the Dead to kill some boars and farm some raw pork, which is one of the 2 ingredients that we need to cook some salted pork. Okay, and here we have some. Let's go ahead and take
Oh
them
my
down.
god. Oh no, I didn't get it.
And there we
I
have
didn't get it.
weapon and
Oh
knife.
my god.
The second ingredient for this recipe is some salt, and we can just make that at home by putting some stones in a grinder. So
Nope.
rather than making two separate trips,
Last
we're
one.
just gonna go right now and
Damn
find
it.
the materials to make some
Been a long
Black
time
Lotus
since I played.
potion. And the Black Lotus potion will be our second strength buff that will stack on top for an additional 15% in strength weapon damage. This one is super easy to farm for. You just gotta come to the Black Garden in the southern jungle and you'll find plenty of Black Lotus flower to farm. We're also going to need some alchemical base and some water-filled glass flasks, but thankfully we have all that back home already. Alright, and I think we have more than enough. Let's go and head back to home base now and craft ourselves some strength buffs. Okay, and we're back at home base. We're gonna start by cooking some salted pork. We'll leave this cooking for now, and in the meantime, we'll start making the Black Lotus potions. We just gotta put the flour in the grinder and make some powder out of it. And while we wait for that as well, I'll just go ahead and upgrade our furnaces to a tier 3 just to increase our production. Okay, we have enough powder now. Let's go and get these Black Lotus potions going. I'm also going to go ahead and respec to a strength build because we are about to head out and grab the final thing that we need to be able to start PvP. And just for anyone that is curious, this is the strength build that I use for PvP. But anyways, now that we have that out of the way, let's go ahead and consume our 2 buffs. And as you can see to the left, with those 2 buffs, we have a total of a 30% increase in strength weapon damage.
Damn it, I keep failing
Even
one
with
from the
these
end.
buffs, we're still going to be at a disadvantage against more established players who have the ideal thralls, like the Bladesmith or a Shieldwright to make better armor and weapons. But thankfully, there is one more thing that we can do to help minimize that disadvantage even further, and that is to learn the recipes for Bold Fading, which is an armor upgrade that increases the armor value of your armor. And there's also the Master Weapon Fitting recipe, which increases both the damage and armor penetration of your weapon. I would say that both these recipes are absolutely necessary to be able to compete against other players on a server, and you can learn both these recipes at the Warmaker's Dungeon. This dungeon can be pretty tedious to do if you're fresh on a server, mostly because at minimum you are going to
Damn
have
it.
to fight 3 very tanky bosses. Not really looking forward to doing this dungeon, but like I said, we absolutely need these recipes or else we're not going to last in battle. Just gonna try and speedrun my way through it as much as I can. We don't really have to fight any of these monsters here. We can just run past them and then we just gotta try and lose the aggro. First we'll go into this door that takes us into this room where there's 3 doors to fight 3 separate bosses that we unfortunately need to fight. Next we'll go into this first boss room and we'll just run past everything until we can't anymore. We're still being chased, but we'll keep going to the next room where you'll find the boss. And here's
Seems like a
the
lot
boss
of
where
prep to
you'll
get
still
into a
chase me. I'll
PvP
them
fight,
with
man.
doing some PvP. Alrighty, and we're back, and it's finally time for some PvP. We have a ton of people posting on global chat that there's some PvP going on at Sinkhole, and we're about to join in on all the fun. So check it out, we are here at Sinkhole, and we have quite a few players gathered here, and everyone just seems to be messing around and just having some fun fights. So that did not take very long. It looks like we have our first fight on this server booked already. We'll be going up against this player. Here we go, our first fight on this server. Let's do it.
It kind of looks like baseball. Oh, he's pretty good at that side sweep.
First fight, now we'll be going up against Pikachu. Here we go.
That spear is good, looks like. This music's boring and these fights are boring to me. Not that the game doesn't look good. Yeah, like what's day one like? Uh-oh.
Today, we're talking about...
Thank you, Austin Green, for the excellent content for my stream. I'd like to sub to your channel. This is called This True Crime Festival Was a Total Mess.
About the disaster situation behind Obsessed Fest 2023, an annual
Obsessed
true crime
Fest?
festival
Oh,
held by the
no.
Obsessed Network podcast group.
Oh,
which
no.
blew up after months of unresolved drama led to an awkward elevator confrontation, followed by one of the fakest panic attacks ever caught on camera. And I pulled together the entire timeline behind how all of this went down. So at the end, you can decide who's in the wrong and where do they go from here. But if it's your first time here, hi, I'm Austin. I make videos staying caught up on the latest internet drama and news, so if that sounds like your thing, feel free to stick around. And today's story comes from Even the Birds on Instagram, who told me about this insane drama popping off in the true crime community following Obsessed Fest 2023. And after I looked into it, I knew I had to tell you guys about it, because this rabbit hole happens to be even crazier than the knitting drama. And if you have a story in mind that you want me to cover in a future video, feel free to send it to me on Instagram, Twitter, or TikTok. Now, let's just jump into it, right after I thank today's sponsor. Last year, I moved into a new apartment, and what I didn't realize is that it comes with a ton of new expenses, which, after they pile up, become extremely hard to keep track of. Well, fortunately, today's sponsor, Rocket Money, is here to help. Rocket Money is an all-in-one finance platform that helps you save more and spend less. And this personal finance app allows you to manage subscriptions, lower bills, build a custom budget, and grow your savings all in one place. Saving its members over $1 billion and counting. I've personally used Rocket Money months before they ever approached me to sponsor a video, and it's been absolutely vital in helping me find and cancel unwanted subscriptions. They've even helped me monitor my credit score and lower my internet bill. Just by uploading a picture and tapping a button, they were able to negotiate down my bill. So, to save more and spend less, join the over 5 million members using Rocket Money today. And go to rocketmoney.com/AustinGreen or click the link in the description to get started for free. You can also unlock even more features with premium. That's rocketmoney.com/AustinGreen to get started for free. The drama all starts with this July 11th post on the Obsessed Network subreddit, where a fan shares how disappointed they are that Patrick and Ellen, the former hosts of the Obsessed with Disappeared podcast, no longer follow each other on Instagram, which has led to speculation in the comments as to why this happened. But none of this is going to make any sense until we go through the context behind who the Obsessed Network even is. And they're a company that owns a collection of true crime podcasts, ranging from more comedic ones like True Crime Obsessed to more serious podcasts like Unjust and Unsolved. And this all came about after the massive growth of the main podcast, True Crime Obsessed, which...
Oh, excuse me for just a second, guys. Okay, I'm so sorry. Yeah. My mom drew my attention to a story that she heard on NPR today, and
Video game collection uncovered right here in Nebraska.
The collection of games could be worth life-changing money. Channel 8's Joseph Nasser joins us now with more on this. Joseph.
this is from a year ago, but they did a story about it today on NPR.
Good evening, Ron and Megan. This story has created quite the buzz in the gaming community. Basically, the owners of the collection brought a few items to the game room off of O Street to see what they might be worth. Turns out the entire collection can range.
No. She'll be doing the day after. There. She has her own family, which is her and I, and then my stepfather's got his family, and since yeah, so she's got to go do their family stuff tomorrow. I see her the day after. But yes, she will be cooking. I think she's doing turkey too. She's doing the whole thing. So. And I was like, you don't have to do that. I don't care. And she was like, no, it's what I want to do right now. I want to cook right now. Any chance I can get to cook. And I'm like, okay, well, as long as you actually really desire to do it. And she was like, I really want to cook. And I'm like, okay. Yeah, sure. I was like, okay, cool. Her famous bit is her world famous spoon bread, who like 200 people know about and all this. Spoon bread, right? It's cornbread. This is just some of the best goddamn shit in the world, man. There's just some of the best stuff in the world, man. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's the cream corn maize pie. It's a maize pie. It looks and tastes so good. This is some of the best stuff in the world, man. Spoon bread, man. It's cream of corn baked into a corn casserole in corn bread, as I recall. And this is some of the most, I don't know, decadent, mindless, self-indulgence, Thanksgiving, white people thing. I don't even know if it's a white person thing. I'm sure all races do this, but this is like the decadent, fatty, white Thanksgiving thing. Spoon bread. And so my mom's famous for her spoon bread. Everybody asks for her spoon bread. Everybody I know asks for her spoon bread on Thanksgiving. It's actually kind of a joke. It's funny. Yeah. This stuff's so good. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh man. If she uses some Mrs. Dash, I'm just gonna lose it. Fucking Family Guy. So where am I going now? I'm tired and I'm going south. I'm putting my hardcore character at risk. Go kneel on them when they ask replay with this. There's no spoon. There is no spoon. There is no spoon. Yeah, there's no spoon. It's just really good fucking like cream of corn baked into a fucking fried baked casserole. And it's crunchy. And it's smooth and silk like sweet, sweet pussy velvet. Oh, and it's just soft and moist and just, delectable. And I just want to eat so much of it when I see it. I'm like, oh my God. That is the best shit on the fucking planet, especially the way she makes it. I don't know what she does. I think she uses like fucking jalapenos or something. I forget what she does. But like, oh my God, it's so good. Hatch chilies, I think, one year. Yeah, this stuff could be, yeah, like they do interesting stuff with it. See it? Yeah, they're like, oh my God, spoon bread. Yeah. Oh yeah, let's make this really big. This just stinks of like holly or whatever, stupid holidays. Where the white man celebrates the conquistadorialism of the Native American man. And we celebrate it with Many a cream corn casserole. Many potatoes have to die. Many turkeys must die. Oh yeah, this just looks so good, doesn't it? Fucking torture you guys. I don't know, like, man. Anyways, yeah. Spoon bread. let's do a video of it. Yeah, spoon bread, right? Yeah, man. Nothing like spoon bread. That's just about the most decadent American cuisine I can think of. It's cream corn casserole. It's so good. Spoon bread is a Kentucky classic. It is.
Did you know that in Kentucky you can eat bread with a spoon? And there's even a whole festival in Berea, Kentucky that's about this. It's called spoon bread. Okay, look, I love spoons. Okay, I don't trust forks. I think they let too much through. I think they let too much slide. A spoon, the best way to go. Don't even talk to me about sporks. Okay, spoons. It's been popular in the South for a while, especially in Virginia and Kentucky. Look, I get it.
My mom from Nebraska. My mom from Nebraska.
Did you know that in Kentucky you can eat bread with a spoon? And there's even a whole festival in Berea, Kentucky that's about this. It's called spoon bread. Okay, look, I love spoons. Okay, I don't trust forks. I think they let too much through. I think they let too much slide. A spoon, the best way to go. Don't even talk to me about sporks. Okay, spoons. It's been popular in the South for a while, especially in Virginia and Kentucky. Look, I get it. You don't trust me. You think, there's no way you can eat bread with a spoon. Well, if you want to prove it to yourself, go to the Berea Spoon Bread Festival. It's September 15th to September 18th. There's free admission, free entertainment, free inflatables for kids, and I bet if you ask really nicely as an adult, they might let you go on the inflatable. If you've never had this popular Kentucky dish, here's what it's like. It's like if bread had like a pudding texture. It tastes very similar.
It's a cream corn pudding pie. It's unique, and if you never had it, you should. It's so good.
From hundreds of thousands to even millions of dollars.
I've been doing this since I was 19.
Oh my god, is that Annihilation? It is! No, it's not. It's, what's the other one from PS2? Mortal Kombat, Annihilation, and Deadly Alliance. No, it's the collection. It's the PS2 Mortal Kombat collection. Yeah.
Just examining where I fit into this.
Monster Rancher 3.
Is brought to tears just thinking about it.
We are looking at some stuff that you guys might be interested in.
A surprising video game discovery sending shockwaves through the gaming community.
This is the envy of the entire video game collecting community.
Thompson is the owner of a local buy-sell trade store called The Game Room. He says owners of a rare video game collection brought a few items to his store to see what they might be worth.
They weren't 100% sure how big this thing was, but they knew it was a really notable collection.
Oh my god, it's bread. Oh my god, I love that game. It's Breath of Fire 2. No, was it 3? Yeah, it's 2. 3 was on the PS3. That was Breath of Fire 2.
But they knew it was a
oh my god, that's Breath of Fire 2. This is one of the greatest RPGs ever made. It's too Asian in its sensibilities. As racist as that sounds, it's just a little too Eastern. But it's not bad. It's such a good game. Breath of Fire 2. Classic music. Oh yeah, classic fucking story, classic combat. The fishing in Breath of Fire 2. I used to fire it up and fish for 5 hours. Like the fishing in Breath of Fire 2 was revolutionary for its time. It was so good. It still would be good.
Many Super Nintendo sequels play like the original game but on steroids, meaning the strengths of the original are all accentuated with some new fun features added.
Yup, Cat and Nina.
Donkey Kong Country 2, Final Fight 2, and a ton of others. With Breath of Fire 2, it turned out a bit differently. Both the good and bad aspects of the original Breath of Fire are magnified. What was good is even better, but unfortunately what was bad is even worse. Let's just get the bad out of the way right away.
I don't know, this is a classic.
Somehow even worse than the original. And not only that, this might be the hardest RPG on the Super Nintendo, and not necessarily...
There it was. I didn't want to say it because I thought it might make me sound like a fucking pussy. But yeah, this was not an easy game. It was one of the harder turn-based games I ever played. It would kick your ass. I'm talking kick it.
In a fun way either. At the beginning of the game, you fall into a
No, you're like, why am I hitting for 2 damage and this thing is hitting me for 10 and I have 30 health?
Every 5 steps or so, and you have to go all out using items, cure spells, the whole deal, just to survive.
Which I liked. I liked it for its time. I thought it was revolutionary, but it was also fuck all too hard. And you lost too much progress if you died.
Really, if you want to get anywhere in Breath of Fire 2, you have to grind.
You have to grind. I liked it for, like, I mean, it was a good game.
I know excessive grinding can be a deal breaker for some people, so if it is for you, you might want to look elsewhere. But at least they kept the auto battle function, and they did add a monster meter to the menu screen that tells you when an enemy is near, which is always. Also, Capcom shrugged off Squaresoft and decided to do the translation themselves this time around. That may not have been a wise decision, because the game reads very strangely at times. But
It
at least
does.
unlike the first game, the menu is a
The
little more
localization
cleaned up.
wasn't too
The
good.
translation may be a bit goofy, but one thing the game does well is the non-verbal stuff, like where Bo has to hide after he's accused of stealing. You have to lead him out of town while he bounces around in a trash can. That's pretty funny. The first game didn't even try to do
I
anything like
remember
so it's nice to
this.
see. Anyway,
I remember the trash can. It really stuck out. The fucking trash can that his friend hides in. I forgot about that. Yeah, yeah.
What makes this game satisfying more than anything is that it's a true sequel. It takes place 500 years after the first game, but Ryu...
Yeah, and then there was like another one too, Breath of Fire 3, which was a revolutionary game on the PS3. And let's go look at that one. This one was also revolutionary in its own weird Eastern way. Too Eastern, these games. They didn't come across like Secret of Mana or Chrono Trigger or one of those. Excuse me. They come across like an anime. They came across as like they were anime games, because they were. But they weren't bad anime games. There was a few of them like this. There was Breath of Fire 2, Breath of Fire 3, Lufia, Lufia 2, Lufia 3, Lufia 3, Rise of the Sinistrals, Lunar 1, Lunar 2, Silver Star Complete. There was a lot of anime RPGs that were really good in their own right, but the Western culture was just too scared to do them. And I cut my teeth on them. But it was hard for me to keep those games around because they were like, they'd always trade in well. And I'd be like, yeah, I want this, but I want I want Super Nintendo, or what? I'm sorry, I want Super Mario Brothers RPG for $60 more, kind of thing. And I would trade in Japanese games that I wish I had kept, not Japanese like localization, but just like very Eastern games. These were very Eastern games. Breath of Fire, very Eastern.
That's struck. The two Breath of Fire games on Super Nintendo have their ups and downs. Sure, the translations in both are pretty bad, and they're both grind-heavy games, but each are worthwhile playthroughs that do a great job representing that era of role-playing games, with the second game in particular pushing the boundaries of what's expected in an RPG.
Yeah, two had an amazing fishing system. The grind was the most real I had seen on the system. The story was okay, and the Mode 7 like travel was great. I give overall Breath of Fire 2 like a 7.2, which is saying a lot for all those anime clone RPGs that we saw, like Lunar.
In terms of story, and
Like Lunar is another good example of this. Like Lunar 2. Lunar 2 was a game I was obsessed with because for like 10 years they said this was like the most valuable game on the market in terms of its shelf value. Lunar 2, Silver Star Story Complete. I owned this game, but then I traded it back in, and I wish I hadn't done that. Yeah, like Lunar Silver Star.
Hi, I'm Pam, and I'm here to talk about retro video games.
Oh, you're very beautiful, Pam. Cannot be tamed. Yeah, good. Fuck yeah, do not be tamed by this fucking patriarchy. Yes.
Whenever I show my game shelves in a video, there's always one game that gets a ton of comments.
See, this girl does not have girl repellent in the background.
It's been on my backlog for years, so I thought it was finally time to play
Emotionally unavailable.
it. It's Lunar Silver Star Story complete.
Oh, I thought it was Lunar 2. I remember being Lunar 2.
The Silver Star is a JRPG developed by Game Arts and initially released for the Sega CD in Japan in 1992. Executive
And then they bought it to the PlayStation. They brought it to the PlayStation 1.
Yuichi Miyagi has stated that the team wants
And this scene right here is why we were all so interested in it. We were like, oh, is it like a full-blown anime game? And it was. It was a full-blown anime game, as in it was like you watched an anime and you could go battle in it and stuff, but all the cutscenes and all the story and all the character intros were like a full-blown Japanese television show quality anime. And we were and we were surprised. We were like, yeah, cool, great premise. Why not? Why not? Why not? I always wondered why like where are the manga games that do justice to, like, say, Berserk, you know? There's been some good Berserk games, like on the Dreamcast. There was a particularly good Berserk game. And there was, of course, Dragon's Dogma, which I've been playing recently, but...
Big Dogs, Dragon Quest, and Final Fantasy. The version I
yeah, the little cute little dragon was so cute, or whatever, little squirrel guy. This guy was, like, feckless, and I liked him. He was kind of a dork.
Silver Star
and he just, like, had a good heart, and he meets this princess, as I recall, and it had a whole intro that kind of looked like the start of, Full Metal Alchemist.
Enhanced remake for the PlayStation that came out in 1996. The game takes place...
And it had cool stuff like this. You were like, oh, it kind of looks like another really good Squaresoft game. They're probably their best game, maybe. What's the robot game? I can't think of the fucking name. It's, Xenogears. This game played and looked and felt like Xenogears, except for the combat. Combat didn't feel like Xenogears, but the rest of it did.
Lunar, a magical land under the shadow of...
Lunar was a good game. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I only beat it once, but...
Not so long ago saved the world from an evil force.
Yeah, it was great. It was upbeat. It was kind of hard to track, and it had a lot of, like manga stuff going on, but it was a really classic good RPG, I would say, for its era. Give it like an 8.6. I think it was better than Breath of Fire 2.
Protagonist is Alex, a young man who hopes to become a dragon master one day. But for now, he's going on a treasure hunt.
Fully voiced, as I recall. Fully voiced, by the way, in like 1996 or something like that. Every fucking like sentence was fully voiced, which was revolutionary for its time.
With his money-hungry friend Ramus, his weird...
I remember it being fully voiced, or at least a lot of the lines were spoken. Like when you first talk to a character, its line was spoken to you in the game.
Companion now, and his sister girlfriend
Luna. Yeah.
Luna was an orphan who had been raised by Alex's parents, which makes the romance between them kind of weird. Also, mysterious orphan, eh? Wonder if she's someone important.
Princess.
The group delves into their first dungeon and encounters the dragon Quark, who convinces Alex that he should continue to travel the world in search of the other dragons and become the next dragon master. How convenient.
That's my life goal. Don't make fun of it, damn it. I'm always after I'm out slaying some other dragon. Don't make fun of it, damn it. That's my life you're talking about. So that's some joke. Somebody's got to slay him.
As the group travels, they pick up new companions, discover a disturbing trend of singers being captured from villages, and eventually discover that another evil force is trying to take over the world. Lunar is a very by-the-numbers JRPG. Though this version came out in 1996 and it does include some technical improvements, it still feels like a game that was made in 1992. The story, the characters, the combat are...
She's asexual. She's an ace. She's had sex before. She's not a loser, and she's been in many relationships. But she's Asex. She's an ace.
Are all very basic, and the game really doesn't do much to distinguish itself from all the other great games in the genre available on PlayStation.
I've only ever met or saw another ace in the whole in my whole life. And that was my friend. I won't say her name. That girl was asexual. Absolutely. Fucking beautiful too. But definitely sex was just not going to be something she ever did, I don't think.
The characters in Lunar are very basic archetypes that you'll have seen many times before.
I'm not based off that, like me hitting on her or anything like that. That was off like being around her for 5 years. That girl was not interested in sex, I don't think at all.
Alex is the chosen one who has to save.
I've never ever thought I ever met anybody like that ever again. Everybody you meet, even the most cracked out bum on the street, they still have a sex drive. But that girl did not have a sex drive, I don't believe.
The world from destruction while not having all that much of a personality. Luna is the level-headed and generous companion who is undoubtedly good and also a little dull and gets sidelined so the hero has someone to rescue. To make up for Alex,
This banal explanation is cool, but I don't really need like a character breakdown. I want to see the presentation.
Is a big part of why most people pick this game up.
Yeah, okay, it had like the dopest game cover of all time. It had a full foil cover like Magic the Gathering. You could see it from across the store and down from the left side. You could see Lunar. It stood out like amongst like 200 fucking like game cartridges. Lunar always stood out as like the most interesting one. Your eye would just go to it if it was on a shelf.
Translation efforts, but they sure did know how to make nice packaging.
To me, this is the greatest game package of all time.
The physical presentation.
They don't make them like this anymore.
Big part of why most people pick this
Fucking
game up.
beautiful.
It comes in a nice box with reflective embossing.
And they told you everything you get, and it was actually a really good fucking package with 2 game CDs, the soundtrack, an exclusive making of Lunar CD, which we all watched like religiously, And this was revolutionary for its time. We were like, oh, it's a game that's actually complete. It's the only game that's ever been complete. And later on, I believe Steam did do collectionist of stuff, and so did Good Old Games. And there was a couple of other complete collections. But when I think of complete, I think of Lunar. They don't make them like Lunar. Maybe Elden Ring's platinum release or whatever, platinum copy or whatever is like this, but it's actually fairly rare. Only like 100 games in all of history have ever had games that were released like this anyways, much less complete like this with everything the game had. I think it even had, like, to a lesser degree, this little black thing here was a full-blown written strategy guide, if I recall. Yeah, it's an instruction manual. The instruction manual was actually a strategy guide included with the game because they wanted you to beat the game. They didn't care. It was a hard game, but it wasn't, they didn't want it to be for kids. They wanted everybody to cherish this. And I always wondered why this standard was not adopted.
The game manual is a hardback.
It was the best game manual ever made. See it? It was a hardback book.
Faux leather book complete with developer interviews and partial
fucking beautiful.
A cloth map gives a link.
Cloth map.
Of the land. And
I was proud of my Lunar collection. Yeah.
In addition to the game discs, it also includes.
But then I traded them all in for new games because GameStop is a thief.
Soundtrack and a making of video. When it comes to this genre, my favorites are always the games that do something different and interesting mechanically. Crafting systems, choosing which characters to recruit, building up a base, timing-based combat, fun minigames. Lunar doesn't really have anything like this, and I find myself reaching for something to hang on to. If I have to name something other than the box which makes it unique, it's the fully animated and voiced cutscenes which take place throughout. Most of the game is presented with pixel art. The pixel art is very nice, the colors are vibrant, the backgrounds are quite beautiful. However, it does look like something you could be playing on a Super Nintendo. Character sprites and most enemies are small and not overly detailed, and spell effects in combat leave something to be desired.
Yeah, but we loved JRPGs. We loved these when we were kids. We didn't care. I was like, what, 15 years old? I didn't give a shit about this, whether it looked good or not.
Every screen you see.
I mean, I cared about graphics, but I didn't care that this game looked based.
View.
Yeah, it did not look like PlayStation 1, but I didn't care.
Of course, I'll take this style over most PS1 polygons, but it just doesn't quite compare to the best-looking JRPGs on the system.
No.
The cutscenes are the only...
We all knew that it was kind of a lower budget game, so they were like, here's a well-orchestrated, well-made game with no bugs and, you know, and its own strategy guide and its own beautiful little copy, and it ended up being worth a lot of money too, because it was very, very full of whimsy, and it was not falsely advertised.
Only thing that make this feel like a 5th generation game. There's almost 45 minutes of video, which is beautifully animated and voiced by a talented cast of voice actors. It's nice to get to see the characters with a lot more detail and have a voice to go with their dialogue. Some are a
Yeah, this went a little bit for the immersion. It did help.
The shrill side, but it's pretty par for the
That's how anime always sounds.
The weakest part of the game is the combat, and combat is what you're doing for probably 75% of your time in game. It's not that it's terrible, it's just boring.
Yep.
When you get into combat...
But they were all boring. They were all boring. Even Final Fantasy VI was frankly boring. Even Edgar with the chainsaw, it was still sort of a boring game in the end. They didn't really get interesting until Xenogears.
Using AI, which you can
ARPG combat, really. Secret of Mana.
In the tactics menu, or controlling the characters yourself. If you control them yourself, each has the option...
Yeah, and as I recall, I didn't like the difficulty of it for how kind of ghetto the game seemed. So I remember running the Auto Battler and enjoying it like hell. It was actually pretty fun.
With their weapon, using magic, items...
That was good. You could just let them cast. It was actually kind of cool.
Ending or trying to run away. Each character has a main role, like physical attacks, magic, or healing, and will gain new abilities as they level up. At the start...
I don't know. I thought it was an okay game. Whatever. And, yeah. I'm going to get off it now. But yeah, this guy pulls out a fucking Breath of Fire 2.
Notable collection.
No kidding. These games have been in storage.
They're all in plastic. I can't believe
more
that.
than 25 years after 2 Nebraska gaming stores closed down.
Oh my god, it's 4 copies of Aladdin still in their plastic.
Mid-90s. At this early stage in the process, Thompson said it's hard to put a specific valuation on the collection, which contains hundreds of factory-sealed
$1 million. Yeah.
SNES, Sega Genesis, and Saturn games.
You know somebody's calling him up that day. Yo, I'll pay you $2 million right now.
That's a factory seal. A single game could be $50 street value. With a box, it could be a $200 street value. Factory sealed in poor condition could be $1,000
Thousands.
And
Yep.
then a mint perfect, the best known specimen could be $100,000.
Oh my god, it was like 18 worthless copies of that stupid sports game they always push. It's the soccer game. Oh my god, that game sucked, which is why there's like 20 copies of it.
Known specimen could be $100,000.
In other words,
I could liquidate
FIFA, thank you.
the
Yeah.
entire game room and not have enough money.
It didn't suck. It was just old. I mean, it was a good game for its time, but it was just old. And back then, sports games were worth like $1 in the bargain bin. You know what I'm saying? Early FIFA sucked. Yeah, like early sports games sucked. They were basically like playing a pinball game. You know, they were not Madden.
significant attention online with a major...
Yeah, like 95% of the games sucked. Yeah, they didn't make a lot of Super Mario Worlds, you know? They weren't really known for that. Look at this, hundreds of rare sealed Nintendo and Sega games discovery.
Major gaming outlets picking up the story, and Thompson's video getting more than 52,000 views on YouTube.
Yeah, because all the nerds are like, oh my god, I just jizzed in my pants when I didn't even expect to.
2 days. Thompson says he's assisting the owners to
4 sealed copies of Aladdin. And you know that some nerd dad, some boomer dad is going to call him up and be like, look, man, I really want a copy of that unsealed Aladdin. My son needs to experience that. It's the hardest game ever made or whatever. And I really want him to experience it because I cut my teeth on it. I'll give you 10 grand. And he's like, no. He's going to be like, no. I'm taking this to Christie's. And he should.
Wish to remain anonymous with the process of valuing these games.
Yeah, take it to Christie's and sell it for $5 million. You probably get it.
This where you start flipping these on eBay one at a time. This is a process.
This is a Christie's sale. You take it to Christie's. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, like go to Christie's and be like, look, when are you ever gonna get unsealed? This is worth $5 million. You're never gonna get and if you don't want it, then don't buy it. But the bid starts at 2.5, motherfucker. Bid starts at 2.5, and I'm looking for 5. Tell him right there as I look at the boxes. I'm like, yeah, bid starts at 2.5, but I want 5. You know, some Phil Spencer nerd is gonna step and fucking pay it.
And documentarians, and we go through a white glove inspection.
Thompson, who's worked in the gaming industry for 20 years.
Because it's bona fide. You can see it. It's pure bona fide slice of our past with the plastic still on it, like some kind of condom.
He's honored to be a part of this and determined to make sure that the owners get the most out of it.
Oh my god, every time I see 4 copies of Aladdin unsealed, I kind of jizz a little bit. Just a little. I kind of jizz a little bit. When I see 3 unopened Aladdins, I kind of jizz in my pants a little bit. Is that wrong? Is that weird? It's not like I like Aladdin or even care that it exists, really. It's just when I see it, you get this like weird gamer response where you're like, I just kind of came a little. When you see it, because you're like, oh my god, it's 3 unopened copies of Aladdin. What is that worth? It's gonna be like 350 grand or something. I don't know. I mean, what is that worth? It's subjective in its value. You could basically charge whatever you want. You could be like, yeah, this one, we wanted to start with 100 grand and just see how far the Aladdins went. This is my live stream and it happened to someone else. God damn it. You like open up a box and there's like a fucking jizz load worth of like porno mags worth of like fucking unopened games in there. And you're like, I just came a little bit. What? And you open the box and you're like, oh my god, it's like 60 unsealed Super Nintendo games. And you like jizz a little bit and you're like, it's gotta be worth $1 million.
Opportunity that
oh my god, it kind of is. It's like, I can't even like ascertain. Oh my god, it's B.O.B. Mortal Kombat 1. It is. It's Mortal Kombat 2. It's Mortal Kombat 2. Oh my god, it's Ultima unopened. This Ultima game. My mom called to tell me about this.
Enthusiast dream of.
You know, as a kid, I was fascinated with video games and every aspect of them. You know, I played them, I loved them, I had a free playground to try things and fail. Had no idea that was...
Oh, whatever. Cut your hair, you granola. Yeah, man. I wouldn't tell the world I'd had that. People might come gunning for me. I guess, yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, let's look at it.
What is Bannerlord Persistent Empires and why it's worth playing? So, this is a pretty bitchin'
Mount and Blade 2 Bannerlord Persistent Empires.
Under the radar of most people, and I thought making this video on it could convince just a few more people to check it out. I've done a few live streams fucking around with my community and making my own faction, but you have no idea what Bannerlord is?
Mount and Blade Bannerlord Persistent would be so good.
Third-person medieval warfare game made by...
Can they make this castle, or is this castle just existing?
It just exists in the world. It doesn't matter. The castle is just cover. That's all.
World. It's pre-existing, okay.
Yeah, it's just cover, like New World. It doesn't matter.
Take it over.
Dedicated people called Tails.
It's a lot more New World than New World was New World.
and it does indeed slap. The previous game, Mount Blade Warband,
It does indeed slap. I bet it does. It fucking slaps. I might have to buy this.
kept the game popular
Fucking
for
son of a
years
bitch, man. I just spent $10 on fucking Conan Exiles, and I think actually I might have wanted this instead.
Released full overhauls of the open world single player campaign.
Mount and Blade 2 Banner Lore Persistent. Mount and Blade 2 Banner Lord Persistent. Yeah, why the fuck not? Why the fuck not? Why not? Why not? Why not? I always wondered, like, why don't they make these crappy one-player games that are super, super good multiplayer so I can actually enjoy them? And by multiplayer, I'm not talking about Diablo Dungeons, Diablo 4 Failure, or Diablo Moral shit like Dungeons or Instance shit, you know? I'm talking about sandbox persistent world.
These beasts have been washing ashore in ever-increasing numbers. I've been sent here by the Temple of the Moon to investigate, but the presence of murlocs along the water has made my research difficult. There is a giant creature washed ashore just south of Aberdeen that...
I didn't want to pick up that quest. Okay, let's go look. Persistent Empires. It's a mod. Okay. It's a multiplayer mod for Bannerlord. We intend to keep true to the basics of what Persistent World was while expanding on it now that we are free from Warband. We have created a medieval open world with different classes that allow for further customization, diplomacy, factions, wars, field battles, and sieges, interactive player-led economy, resource gathering and crafting system, building system to allow you to upgrade buildings, destruction system allowing things to be torn down, an array of optional immersion systems to allow for extensive roleplay scenarios, the ability to modify our framework to build your own scenarios. It's a working Discord link for the server. Yeah, and this just hit the scene, I guess.
The last days of the Third Age, got Lord of the Rings overhaul mod.
Wait, holy shit.
Joe, or the last days of the Third Age, got Lord of the Rings over.
Oh my god, that's insane. Look at that. Wow.
Why not?
Overhaul mod, but what really kept the game going were the multiplayer mods. Like Full Invasion, where you had a full server of players defending against wave after wave of increasingly difficult AI armies.
Holy shit.
Different themes. Defending
Cool.
Warhammer 40k.
Dude, that's
my favorite
awesome.
multiplayer mod for Warband, and the mod that has always had the most potential, in my opinion, was a mod called the Persistent Kingdoms mod. Hundreds of players working together to develop their own clans, wars, and factions.
Wow.
An actual real-time persistent world. But this brings me back to Bannerlord,
600,
which a while back finally got modding tools, and people have started to make sequels and successors to these legendary mods.
Do you have camels?
The big boobs and ass bodies.
Skyrim.
There it is.
This is wrong. Persistent Empires is the Bannerlord version of the Persistent World mod, and it functions pretty much the same. Serfs gather resources, craftsmen craft stuff out of those resources to make gear, which earns you gold, which you can store in banks and buy gear, etc., etc. Don't want to be part of a faction? Become an outlaw and run around robbing people, being the medieval equivalent of an internet shitposter. You might be thinking, hey, but won't it inevitably devolve into faction-based drama? And actually, the answer is, yeah, constantly.
Yeah, I would assume
Most of the
so,
major
right?
clans act like little ego-mad, angsty goblins calling each other names in global chat, but underneath that big, poopy-ass shit sandwich is the potential for some pretty unbelievable gameplay and battles that I've always wanted out of a medieval-style game.
Yeah,
And
this
when
is
it works,
insane.
hot fucking damn does it work.
Wow.
Holy dude, this is insane. Look at them all.
It's never this good very long.
What the fuck?
Sold. Fucking sold. Fucking sold. Bannerlord, huh? How much is that gonna run? It better not be fuck all expensive right now. It better be cheap for... Oh, no. It's $35. I don't want to spend $35. Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. I liked Bannerlord. I actually genuinely liked it, actually. I played it before. I thought that was a great game. If it had a persistent world, it's worth a damn. Yeah, we gonna add that to the cart. Is it pay to win? Oh, you knew something about this, man who stands? See, I don't know shit about this. So yeah, well...
And like, it's not even lagging.
See, my thing is that if I can go kill people, it's a good game. I've been doing that in Mortal 2, and yeah. No, this isn't Dynasty Warriors. This is Banner 2. I don't think there is a way to pay to win, actually. I don't think there's a way to pay to win in this. I was going to say, if there is pay to win, it's in the store. It's not in the game itself. Now, why I'm saying that is, though, is I suspect that there is skins in the marketplace that probably are pay to win, that make you look like the grass, that make you look like the black shaded background, that are like ghillie suits and purple shields. See the purple shields and stuff? That shit's probably $5. And I'm talking about pay to win from a Rust player's perspective of like the store. And I bet Bannerlord does have a store, and I bet it is pay to win. So, but it's not pay to win like what you're talking about, like Dynasty Warriors. No, that one is gacha. I know what you're talking about. That one's gacha. Yeah.
It's so fucking good.
Which is fine. Musou, of all the games out there to be gacha, I think Musou would be one of the ones that should that whole art form should be, frankly.
Where my faction.
Yeah, that's a vacuous little fighter. Why not let them have gacha? I don't see why not.
Took part in a 250 player siege.
Back.
Yeah, but they're making it look good for the 10 seconds that it wasn't a lag fest and shitty though. There's no way this game is that fluid. It's on some dude's server. These are the brief moments where they got like legible fucking camera.
Fuck, man.
I don't know, it's looking smooth. Never mind.
Oh my god. This is insane. There's 200. Yeah, there's like hundreds of people here.
This is actually only scratching the surface of the mod.
We lost that guy.
Have a player capacity of 750 players. I don't think this mod has nearly enough players or hype around it. And
so, like, if we joined this mod, we could just be Xerxes' army. Because, like, 750 people, that's not really that many people.
If you go there, it'll be thousands, and they'll DDoS the server. And
can you imagine that? 750 people?
You've got 12,000 in your channel right now. If you go there, 5,000 of them will show up and just DDoS the server.
All in this?
That's what happened, too. He blew it up. He blew this up.
Dude, that would be really fucking fun.
He can't go there. He'll DDoS the server.
Sieges, the better the mod will be for everybody. So yeah, maybe try it out. Be careful out there, and if you like my vids, come join them all. Become part of our big ass player base.
Sure. Specifically, if I can like ride around and Mortal 2 other people, sure. I'll kill the guy's horse. I'll fuck him out on a 1v1. Stick a fucking pike up his fucking ass. Take his shit. you know?
We're not acting
Take
like
his money.
salty little babies holding grudges like we're gonna start cataloging them in a huge book. If you are interested, grab the Banner Boy role on my Discord in the description and get involved. Or make your own way. Or start your own faction, become an outlaw, whatever.
I stick the pike up some dude's ass like 2 days ago. Like fucking took everything he had. No problem. He was starting to mine. I just went shuck in Mortal 2 and took everything he owned. And if you can give me that gameplay, it's sold. Fucking instant sold.
So we could make our own faction for this, and we could actually just be like a massive, like 700 player faction. Oh my god, dude, that sounds so fucking fun. It actually does. It's on sale right now. Maybe I should do it this weekend or something.
$35.
Awesome.
How
Yeah,
old is this video? 10 hours ago. How is it on sale right now? It's not on sale right now. This game was and is $35. It is not on sale right now. Oh, it is. Yeah, it is. Oh, no, they're right. It is on sale. 41, but what's the difference? Digital Deluxe, probably some skins or whatever. Oh, you get the soundtrack and the digital companion, which is a... What is the digital companion? I think you sold this to me. Gotta go look at the funds, though. Oh, damn it. I can't believe I'm doing this. I don't want to buy this game. I don't think I'm going to play it. I'm going to play WoW Hardcore. What if it's really fucking good? I think I liked this game a lot, actually. It had good combat. It's hard. Like, genuinely fuck all hard. It's unlikely that you win most of the time. It's... Yeah, this, Yeah, why not? I don't think it'll be fun in terms of, like, jump in and have fun, though. I think you have to do the campaign for, like, 10 hours. And I don't know if I want to do that. I don't think I'm that into this. I think I tried to do Mount Bannerlord, and I was like, this is boring me. So I don't know. What? Start again. Damn it. I'm not gonna buy this game. I just bought Conan. I mean... It would be fun to be on the parapets with a fucking bow, just firing on dudes for like 45 minutes. Just like, thuck, thuck, thuck. Like, for 45 minutes, just thuck, thuck, headshot, thuck, thuck, headshot, 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 thuck, 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 headshot, thuck, thuck, headshot. You know, that'd actually be so fun. Look, they seem like they're actually having a lot of fun up there. Yeah, look at all the arrows flying. Like, what? Yeah, the arrow fights are real, apparently. That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing that goes on, I guess. Well, I mean, I don't mind buying the game, especially if it's cheap, but I mean, I don't know.
Link you guys the video. Dude, this is so cool. And it came out a few months ago, too. Yeah, it's called Persistent Empires. That's the game it is. There's a video right there. This weekend? Well, I don't know. I want to try it out, man. I think it'd be really fun. Antonius game is amazing and criminally underrated mod. The idea of having 700 people all on horseback, that would be fucking crazy. What is the Pastaya Castle? I mean, like, I would like if you could make your own castles, like in that game, but this is just, like, in my mind, right, as somebody who grew up playing Age of Empires 2, this is what I've always wanted, you know? I've always wanted a game like this.
Yeah, I could see being on the front line with a fucking pike, sticking people to the fucking ground. No problem. So I don't know. Yeah, that one.
This is so badass, man.
I mean, that's kind of what I've been craving lately. I have got like 5 or 6 PvP kills in Mortal in the last week just because I do want to stick a sword in someone pretty bad. New World didn't solve that itch. It didn't scratch that itch. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I like the fort. Oh yeah. I like it. Thank you. You thank Lore. All right. So now. What now? I guess I go north and kill. Yeah, I killed Murlocs again for a while, so that's fun. And then let's go back. It does. Look, Pax Day looks good. They all look good. Yeah, no. Danny Masterson, no. It's finally time for this, no. 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 The Cult of Jared Leto. Yeah, no thanks. Hey, there's me. I don't see anything good here. This sucks. Go back to the main page. Oh, Andrew Callahan did a new one.
Yeah, my name.
Thank you, Channel 5 with Andrew. Oh, and I forgot to. Thank you, Asmongold, for the excellent content for my stream. I'd like to sub to your channel. And thank you. Yeah, I'm going to buy this, I think. Yeah. I think I'm going to buy this right now. It's so stupid. Damn it. Hey, sorry. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Make a phone call here. If you're not, I'll be here. I should be here for a few more hours, dude. Good to see you.
That's flown under the radar of most people, and I thought making this video on it could convince just a few more people to check it out.
Okay, yeah, it looks good. I think so. So
a rare video.
Loud. Okay. Thank you, Some Ordinary Gamers. I'd like to sub to your channel. Thank you for the excellent content for my stream. Oops. Oh, and then I was watching him too. This one looks good. We'll do that one, but we'll do this one first.
This is brought to you by our friends over at ExpressVPN, ladies and gentlemen. Now, one of the reasons why I use this is for IP obfuscation. Ladies and gentlemen, with a ton of servers to pick from with pretty fast speeds. The reason why
I guess I like it when they open with the commercial, but it also bothers me. It seems like, man,
I pretend to be from other parts of the world.
How is not most of the world skipping that? It's like kind of crazy.
You're browsing things on the dark web, or God forbid,
dark
you're on the
web.
ClearNet, go into that shady site. Ladies and gentlemen, they can store your IP address, especially when it comes to playing peer-to-peer video games where IPs are shared around. As somebody who occasionally live streams, the last thing I want is somebody picking up my, unfortunately, static IP address and DDoSing me out of the sky. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, one of the big reasons is no-log technology. You've probably seen me talk about this a lot, especially when it comes to ExpressVPN, but them and various third-party audit services have confirmed, of course, that they are using something known as trusted server technology. For somebody that has no idea what trusted server technology is, trusted server technology basically means that their servers operate in RAM instead of running off of a hard drive cache. That said, if you want to experience all these benefits and get 3 months free, please go check out expressvpn.com/SOG. That said, let's get to the video. Linux, virtual machines. These are things that you all know me for, ladies and gentlemen. If you've been a long-time viewer of the channel, you know that I have a healthy obsession with virtualizing everything on my system. And it's not because I'm paranoid, it's because I don't like when big companies like Microsoft are running willy-nilly running my computer. I also don't like it when gaming companies install drivers on my system that are so invasive that I have to question, is it all worth it just to play a little bit of Call of Duty online? Ladies and gentlemen, virtualization is great for me because I can basically separate all the nastiness from my core computer all within a couple clicks on my system. Now, I wish most companies looked at it the way I did, but unfortunately, that's not the case. Now, to understand, I'm a huge Linux user on my platform, and one of the things is, most of my gaming nowadays is done underneath Linux. If you've been playing the Steam Deck, congratulations, we're Linux gamers as well. See, at this moment in time, Linux gaming has gotten so good that I really don't use Windows other than for just playing 3 games right now. One of them being Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, sadly. One of them is Cyberpunk 2077, Phantom Liberty, and Alan Wake 2. To understand why I played those 2 games in a virtual machine, it's because the graphic settings are so good on those games. You can enable things like path tracing, which makes the ray tracing go insanely on crack. It makes the actual visuals so worth it to the point where enabling these features, I can actually tell a difference in lighting, reflections, so on and so forth. It makes games like Cyberpunk 2077 even more immersive than they actually are. And it puts them at a night and day difference between playing them on a standard console like the Xbox Series X, the PlayStation 5, and a tricked out PC. The problem is, these feature sets require some serious assists to run. Without me using a lot of the DLSS features that NVIDIA provides, this game runs at like 30 frames per second on a 4090. To give you an idea, the graphic settings that I'm using are so heavy that they absolutely drop the highest grade graphics card on the market to its knees.
Wow.
So what does NVIDIA do? They release something known as DLSS frame generator. So alongside running the game at a smaller resolution and upscaling it while it looks pretty close to native, they have a frame duplication technology. So when I'm getting 30 frames, enabling DLSS and having enough CPU headroom, I can actually play the game at up to 60 frames or beyond. It makes playing this game actually playable underneath this system. Yeah, I have to deal with some input lag, but you know what? To be honest, I'm surprised the input lag is as good as it is, because I played 52 hours of this game underneath these graphic settings, and I am absolutely loving it. But to understand, ladies and gentlemen, this is a very, very specific case. These graphic settings only exist in Windows. Yeah, we're sitting at a point where graphic settings and technologies are locked to operating systems. Now, there are some vendors like AMD that absolutely go out of their way to make sure everything is agnostic, meaning that if you were playing on Linux, Windows, fucking Mac at this point, you may actually have the opportunity to enable some of these cool features. Maybe they're not as good as NVIDIA, but they run across the board. So, ladies and gentlemen, quick recap here. Linux gaming is great. Aside from a few very specific rare case technologies like frame generation, a lot of games run day one out of the box underneath Linux. It's actually so easy that you can have any distribution right now. All you have to do is fire up Steam as of here, go to your gaming library, and basically any game that you find here, for instance, Lethal Company, great game, right-click, properties, compatibilities. You can force specific Proton compatibility tools, which is what Valve's special sauce is. See, a lot of games don't run on Linux because they're not natively made for them. These are just Windows games that Steam downloads, and it runs through their version of Proton. which is a compatibility layer that allows you to play Windows games on Linux in real time.
Guys, there's got to be something in here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, careful! They're careful.
So, well. Well, boys. All right.
Aggro.
Oh,
my asshole.
Holy shit.
By hitting this green play button, it'll launch Valve's version of Proton, their compatibility layer, and you can play Windows games on PC. Now, this has went through so many advancements over the last few years. I can tell you right now, a couple of years ago, we couldn't even get DLSS working. Now we've got DLSS working, we've got ray tracing working. The only thing that doesn't work is that frame generation. I would play Cyberpunk 2077 underneath Linux. The problem is, I like to play over 30 frames per second if I can.
Yep.
If that one specific technology could work underneath Proton, that would make the only game I ever play underneath virtual machines where I need Windows is Call of Duty. And that's for a very specific reason. And it's one of the reasons why this video is titled the way that it is. I am willing to have my accounts banned. Now, I'm not making a video in regards to losing BattleEye, Valorant, a lot of these big anti-cheats that we're starting to crack down on virtual machines. For the longest time, I used to play games like Rainbow Six Siege. I don't anymore, because honestly, I have basically been kicked from it. To understand my setup, my system, I needed to use a virtual machine to play games like Rainbow Six Siege, because the anti-cheat would basically not work underneath Linux. It's not that anti-cheat doesn't work underneath Linux. There are anti-cheats that do. For instance, Halo Infinite and Apex Legends both now run underneath Linux. If you have a Steam Deck, you can install Apex Legends or Halo Infinite right now and play those games online with other players. You cannot play games like Rainbow Six Siege or Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 because some of the drivers and anti-cheat technologies are currently incompatible with Linux. Now, again, I have seen my name thrown on Ubisoft's forums. I have seen Ubisoft forum members begging for Valve to flip us, or not Valve, Ubisoft to flip a switch and allow Rainbow Six Siege. But so far, they have not. And that's one of the reasons why I use a virtual machine so I can install Windows under it and then play Siege. And for a while, that worked really well until it didn't. So today, I'm going to walk you through a few steps that allow me to bypass this and run these games even if these anti-cheat technologies don't fucking want me to. Now, before we continue, I'm sure some people are going to be like, but Muda, don't you lose a lot of frames when you game in a VM? Yes, you do have a performance loss, but as I'm going to show you, playing a game like Cyberpunk 2077, where I'm able to sit in that 90 to 100 frame range, yes, I am losing frames, but there are a lot of assists with virtualization technology that make it so that these performance penalties don't really feel, you don't really feel them as you're playing. For instance, I can play Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 at 150 to 200 frames per second. Could I do better if I was running bare metal Windows? Probably. But is the gain that noticeable? Probably not. So when it comes to VR chat, when they're showcasing how to actually bypass or run their software in a virtual machine, because they use Easy Anti-Cheat, an anti-cheat that bans virtual machines now, that should be a dead giveaway that the virtual machine gamers aren't the biggest threats in the world. But we'll get to that in a bit. So they showcase how to enable Hyper-V Enlightenment. Hyper-V, for those of you who don't know, I showcased as a way to bypass the Valorant anti-cheat. So Vanguard, at the time when I recorded, if you enabled Microsoft's Hyper-V, which was Microsoft's own virtualization platform, and a lot of professionals use it, what it would do is it would basically create a virtualization container and it would virtualize Windows underneath Hyper-V. So as soon as you enabled Hyper-V, your Windows installation was basically running underneath a virtualized container. And so for a lot of these anti-cheats, it was do we ban Hyper-V, or a lot of these anti-cheats could have their detection bypassed. The second benefit of doing this was if you were virtualizing like I do with QEMU and Linux, you would basically replace some of those Linux assists with Microsoft assists where applicable. And this would basically increase your performance piecemeal in special areas, basically depending on your setup or your whatnot. So, according to them, by enabling Hyper-V, I could pass through basically whatever enlightenments I wanted to, assists, and also they were teaching you how to basically introduce or spoof your hardware IDs. So, for instance, this is information that you can obtain from your system. So, by entering something known as DMI decode, I was able to obtain all this information from my system's basis. By using this information, I could basically spoof it into my virtualized machine, and basically, I could hide myself from these anti-cheats to a reasonable extent. Remember, you will never 100% hide yourself. You can only do a reasonably good job. Now, this screen right here that you're seeing is the QEMU virtualization script, okay? So to understand, this is a Windows 11 virtual machine that I use to play those 3 games on. And by going into this, specifically the entries where I'm talking about Hyper-V, I passed through so many of these assists like Relax State, Vapid State, Spin Lock State, BP Index, Runtime, Cymic, S-Timer, Reset, Vendor, Frequencies, Re-Enlightenment, TLB Flush, IPI, EVMCS. This, for anybody watching, is basically throwing the entire medicine cabinet of assists at the problem known as anti-cheat, okay? And of course, these are just a few assists that I passed through. Also, there's other assists where I change the clock speed to match my system's clock, and of course, I pass through extra assists like NVTSC and TurboX, just because I'm on an AMD processor. So, the result of all this word salad and computer assist technology is this virtual machine is now not getting banned by any anti-cheat except Valorant, because Valorant's anti-cheat is insanely good. But again, we'll get to a lot of that in a second. So what this has let me do is allow me to play these multiplayer games yet again. But again, this is a constant cat and mouse game. See, at the end of the day, getting banned is just an inevitability for me. And at this moment in time, whether I play games like Rainbow Six Siege, where I spend hundreds of dollars, I actually don't mind getting banned. For years, we have begged Ubisoft to allow basic Linux support underneath their system. Just so us Linux gamers, which granted there aren't a lot of, I think maximum we sit at like 1 to 2% of the computer PC market space, we're not clearly any massive group to care about. But we have begged time and time again for Ubisoft to flip a switch and allow Linux support. They have not. This is the only way for Linux users to play this game. Now you might be wondering, after all this, why not just install fucking Windows? See, the reality of it is, ladies and gentlemen, my beef isn't just with Windows in this situation, it's with the entirety of anti-cheat software. Now, a lot of companies do their damnedest to fight.
I hate the EAC thing. Drives me crazy. If I could play Rust and a lot of other games at the same time, I would. I'd play Rust. I'd main Rust a lot more. But that EAC thing with Fortnite, for some reason, I felt like Rust and Fortnite might really fit with each other pretty well, because during the night on Rust you can play a match of Fortnite, and then during the day in Rust you can just sit in the lobby in Fortnite, and I thought they would really fit each other pretty well, and I might change my lifestyle a bit, but no, EAC incompatibility and all this stupid shit.
Suing companies like the cheat maker Engine Owning, just because they were trafficking and circumvention devices, and basically they were actually causing harm to the company. Because anytime a cheater exists, there are probably players that quit